Let's start our today's Abhidhamma study, lesson 63, reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Yeah. Welcome back to Abhidhamma study, lesson 63. We are in chapter 9, the last chapter of Abhidhamma Sangaha, and studying about the meditation. So, as the order of Abhidhamma Sangaha explanation at the beginning, explain about the phenomena of mentalities, consciousness, manifestors after that, and then their different way of classification. Then we continue to explain about the process, about the process of consciousness, which is called cognitive process. After that, and then different way of approach regarding the realm of existence and lifespan, etc. Then explain about the ultimate reality of matter, which is called rupa. Then the different categories related to the Sutta teaching in chapter 7, and chapter 8 explain about the relationship of cause and effects process and the conditioning process. Then finally explain about the meditation. So after understanding the ultimate realities and their relationship, cause and effect relationship, then the Abhidhamma Sangaha, the author of Abhidhamma Sangaha seemed to finalize by the meditation techniques. So these meditations techniques are largely explained in the Visuddhimagga and the meditation guidance in the Paudoya. The meditation are guided according to the Visuddhimagga and the Pali Canon. So if you like to follow the meditation practice and experience by yourself, you need to learn from the meditation teacher. And here I will explain about the 14 meditation subjects as mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha. This will be a really brief explanation, and also this is, we can say, just enumeration, because in Abhidhamma Sangaha itself, just explain in the enumeration of 14 meditation subject, and it refers to the Visuddhimagga to study, further study. And these are the 14 meditation subject, especially is emphasized for the calm meditation, which is called samatha meditation. So for those practitioners who want to practice and develop the concentration by the purpose of attainment of jhana, he can practice any of 14 meditation. But as I explained in the lesson 62, only 30 meditation subject, 30 out of 40 meditation subject can be conducive to the jhana or higher attainment. So the other 10 cannot support to attain the jhana. But the 10 meditation subject can support or the attainment of excess concentration. So the concentration level very close to the attainment of jhana. Then after that level of excess concentration, if the meditator change his object based on that excess concentration and then change the object and practice, it becomes the supported for the attainment, but it cannot directly support for the attainment of jhana. Now, these are 10, so we already classified 10 and 13 meditation subject. Then today, I will focus on the enumeration of meditation subject, all 14, and trying to introduce in brief way. Here, the first group, Dasa Kasina, 10 Kasina. So here, the meaning of Kasina is totality. So it is translated as totality. Because once the meditator focusing on these 10 kasina objects and counterpart sign appear, that counterpart sign is just the concept appear in the mind. So it can be expanded and extended everywhere without limitation. That's why it is regarded as the whole or totality by the word kasina. So 10 meditations subjects are regarded as kasina due to that reason. So without the counterpart sign and appearance of counterpart sign, it cannot reach to the everywhere, which is called without limitation. Then it is not real kasina. So, but then at the beginning, for the beginner, how he can practice the kasina meditation, it is mentioned here in the comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma, just a short. So if you like to learn and you need to study the complete instruction of kasina meditation in the Visuddhimagga. So taking the kasina meditation and process or the preparation for the kasina and contemplation, then you can and continue practicing the water, fire, etc. Then here, how the meditator can prepare for the kasina. So kasina, the Batavi kasina. This is at the beginning. It needs the physical device of meditation subject. So he needs to prepare a disc of or earth about 30 diameter, 30 centimeter in diameter. So this can be, according to personal preference, can be different. Some can concentrate on the small device, small area, and some has the medium reference in medium size, and some can concentrate on the larger area. This is just the general estimation. So if you like to meditate on the kasina, you need to prepare the round shape of the meditation subject, consisting of the earth, then and cover with clay. So at the beginning, you can use any material, so wooden or made by the cloth. But after the cover layer, you need to use to to cover with the clay, because you are going to focus on the arts. So then the recommended color is the color of the dawn. But actually, it is not necessarily followed to all instruction, because these instructions are not directly coming from the text itself. But actually, this is how the practitioner could develop the best way. And according to the tradition, the Visuddhimagga is plain and recommend the best way of making meditation device for the Askasina. Then the surface should be smooth. So the meditator need to smoothen the surface of the clay very well. Then the kasina is ready, so he can use that kasina discs, keeping not far from his eye. So here, about a meter away, placing their kasina discs about a meter away. So if it is too far, it can it needs the extra effort to see, to focus on, and it's a kind of disturbance, become a kind of disturbance to develop a meditation practice. Then if it is too close also, it can be another disturbance. That's why the 1 meter distance is recommended. Then he can concentrate on the kasina discs with the eye partially open, so should not be wide open or too close. Then in his mind, actually, the meditation, which is used the word bhavana in Pali, is mental activities actually. That is why, although the instruction come how you should sit, you should keep your posture, your bodily posture, the Buddha instructor, and this is recommendation for the posture of the best, and also how you need to prepare and where you should pause. These are also actually the instruction for the best way. But the most important thing is how you are doing in your mind. So contemplating is very important. So if you are focusing on the art kasina practice, you need to follow the specific way of contemplating. Otherwise, it cannot be completed. So maybe the meditation device or meditation disc can be different, as mentioned, and from here, it doesn't matter. And also you put it farther than the 1 meter or 2 meter, but still, if you can concentrate on that, it will not be a matter. But contemplating in your mind is the most important thing. So if you are practicing the art meditation and you need to contemplate art. And this is how one can start using the physical kasina discs of art as the preliminary sign. So every meditator have to start from the preliminary sign. So in this meditation technique, focusing on art, the meditator need to use his physical eye at the very beginning, and so that he can see the real appearance of the art disc kasina. Then keeping in mind, focusing on the physical meditation sign, then and keep it in mind. It becomes learned in mind, and not necessary to focus on the physical sign anymore, because the sign itself come into mind. So the sign is promoted to another level of learning sign. So we have studied about the process how one can attain the jhana, focusing on the different level of the kasina, different level of the meditation object sign, and nimitta, and also we have studied about the meditative mind, the level of meditative mind. So you need to check back. So here in this case, in this lesson 63, I just want to introduce how one can prepare the kasina meditation device and why this is called kasina. So there are 10 kinds. So if you like to practice the water kasina, and you need to prepare the water in the vessel or in the pot, similar measurement, and keeping your eyes from the water or the water in certain distance from your eye, and you can focus and contemplate and the water like this. So in this way, any meditation subject you are using to develop your mental development, mental practice, meditation practice, you can use as a kasina. So for those who already have the practice to make their boundary in mind, it is not necessary to keep the physical boundary of the earth or water after practicing to be a spot how to keep the meditation sign into mind. So it is a kind of making replica from the starting space. So without any device also, one can meditate on the akasina, making and the starting space, taking starting space in mind, focusing on the physical earth and coming into mind, and he can continue his practice on the mental object. Then it reached to the counterpart sign and then reach to this jhana level. And in this way, the water or fire and air are elements. So here in this air kasina, it's just not focusing on focusing by eye itself. So for the air kasina, I need to focus the mind of the touching. So through because the air kasina you cannot see at the beginning. So later when it come into the mind, being a mental object, and you can continue. And these four are kasina based on the element. So Patawi, Abo, Tejo, Vayo, these are 4 elements. Then the other 4 are color. So blue, yellow, red, and white. Depends on your preference color, and you need to make their meditation device as mentioned. Just the difference is, color. Although here the color is mentioned, and the practitioner of the akasina should not pay attention on the color. But in the kala kasina, he need to focus on the color other than material. So in akasina, focusing as earth, contemplating as earth. But in the kala kasina, so he can use the color of the earth, color of the water, color of the clothes, and even the color of the the sky, it doesn't matter, just need to focus on the color, keeping the colors in mind, and it become the mental object, then continue. So these are the color casino. So the casino related to the elements 4 and related to color 4. Then space casino. So space casino, you need to find the absence of the material phenomena, perceivable material phenomena. So if window is open, so the open window, that space, you can use as your meditation subject. And if there's a hole of the wall, you can use it in this way. And if you are become the expertise, you can use it anywhere, without any blockage, making silent space. And like a Sina, so this is focusing on the light. So these are 10 kasina. So practicing 10 kasina, you can attain the jhana. The different level of jhana can be attained through the practice of kasina after reaching into the counterpart sign. Then second group, dasa asubha. So dasa asubha, asubhas are falseness. So falseness on the crop, on the corpse, after the person died, the remaining body, you can meditate on that. So that can be in different level. Just after that, and this we can see, or this skill, just after that moment, if the bodily condition is not changing yet, and it is hard, it may hard for the beginner to see as a foreigners meditation, because the concept on that the corpse still remain in the beautiful way. But some days later, the stages of bodily condition change, already changed. If you are not using the chemical of any techniques to preserve the condition of the dead body, it will change into the different stage and be killed. Then it come to the different level here, starting from the bloated corpse and their living corpse, etc. So these are the different stages of dead body. And finally, it reached to the skeleton, remaining the skeleton. And you can focus according to your the availability of the object, or whatever you can find, and you can focus on that. And the purpose of practicing here at the beginning is removing the sensual lust. So especially in the Visuddhimagga, if someone has the strong nature of the sensual lust, he should practice this Asubha Bhavana. So focusing on the dead body and the decay process, and the perception of the foreigners coming to mind, or disgusting that dead body. If although my body is still different from that situation, but it has this nature. So contemplating after my death moment. So after I'm dying, my body will change into this situation, and in this way he can reduce and remove the amount of sensual lust. Then the mind come to be concentrated, so he can develop his concentration. Then if he can concentrate on the dead body, or so if the the concentration depends on the individual's the stage of concentration he can develop on this kind. So especially recommended on the dead body. So this is in our Myanmar tradition, if you participate or if you join to the funeral ceremony, it is beneficial. Even it is one time, it's more than beneficial. Uh, going to the temple 10 times, going to the temple 10 times, you can learn through the explanation. The believers in the temple will explain how our bodies is the full of the foreigners, asubha, and it has a nature, but it is hard to recognize. But if you go to the funeral, but it's not in this age, in this age, many people using their artistic skill to make beautiful of the dead body. So sometimes it's hard to recognize and he really dead or not. But if it is the body, that body is kept in natural way, one time is enough to get the sense of urgency through the dead body. Or this already changed. Before that, I have seen him. It's quite handsome, and after that moment, it totally changed. And this kind of nature also have in my body. So my body after that will change into the foreignness situation. Then the attachment to our body, attachment to others' body will be reduced and finally removed. Then, and the mind will become easily concentrated. So here, Dasa Asubha for the foreignness subject, focusing on the dead body at the beginning with the physical eye. So you need to focus the dead body. And you can keep it in mind and become learning sign and continue meditation. So in this way, although this is differentiated into 10 kinds, but the qualities will not be different. You can focus and you can reach to the jhana level. But based on this Asubha Kamatana, Asubha subject, that's 10 kinds of foreigners meditation subject, and the meditator can reach to only the first jhana. It cannot go beyond the first jhana because this has the less power or supporting for the concentration. So we already mentioned that which meditation subject can support to which jhana. Okay, so the third group are called the anusati. So here 10 kinds of anusatis are mentioned, starting from Buddha anusati. So Buddha is the Buddha. So recollection, anusati. Here, the word anusati is recollection. So not only a few times recalling the Buddha's virtue, you need to recall as their a countless time in your minds until your mind is concentrated on the virtue of the Buddha. So originally, the Buddhist follower already, most of the Buddhist followers already learn about the 9 virtues commonly expressed in the sutta text. So in many places, the sutta already explained the 9 virtues starting from the Arahant, Samma Sambuddha, etc. So if you like to practice the Buddhanusati, but Buddhanusati, etc., the 8 anusati are not supporting to attain any level of jhana. You can promote your concentration up to the level of access concentration by practicing in the Buddhanusati, etc. So these 3 Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha are not really the physical body. There is need to develop on the virtues, as I mentioned, the Arahant Sammasambuddha, or any qualities or any virtues of the Buddha can be the object. So if we identify the virtue of the Buddhas are not concept, these are reality, ultimate realities. So you need to reach to the real virtue of the Buddha so that you can concentrate completely for the highest level of Buddha-Nusati concentration. So it is recommended to start from the physical appearance. You really can develop your delightful feeling on that appearance. Maybe it can be a photo or a statue. It doesn't matter. It's just a tool. You just keep in mind and recollecting the real existence of the Buddha. So in certain period or in the past, the Buddha was living and he has this kind of virtue and qualities. Then reaching to that specific qualities after learning about what is the good qualities of the Buddha, then your mind reaching to that quality and taking that quality as your meditation object, and you can develop your concentration. In the same way, and recollection of the Dhamma. So the Dhamma, the teaching is preached by the Buddha. Then Sangha, recollection of the Sangha and Supatipanno, well practice, etc. Then here the River Bhikkhu Bodhi explains the traditional formula. So if you like to start practice and you need to learn how the traditional way of explanation come into the explanation, and you can continue. Then the fourth one, the Silanusati, recollection of the morality. So this is a moral precept, so ethical conduct. By following the ethical conduct, we already studied, pointing out the work of the abstinence, which is called the Virati Citasika. So by the work of Virati Citasika and deliberately abstinence come in the physical or Bhava practice. So this physical and Bhava practice of morality cannot be counted as the moral practice without the mental activities. So, connecting together, I deliberately abstinence from killing, and this kind of quality it has already possessed. You recollect your own sila, your own morality, then that can be the subject of meditation. So I have abstained from this, and this is the quality of moral practice. In this way, you can practice sila no sati. And and some, in the text, in the literature, it is already mentioned that some venerables in the past recollecting about their purification of moral practice, sila, and they get the gladness and delightful feeling and continuing that, and they attain enlightenment. They attain their Magga and Phala up to the highest level. So in this way, at the beginning, they started from the Silanusati, how purify my moral precept. Then through the gladness. So if someone has the moral practice not purified, then he cannot continue because he cannot start from the gladness. So if someone practices the moralities so that it can be regarded as the purification in some case, then he can recognize as it is meditation. It recognize it as meditation object. And he continue. In certain period of time, I have this quality, and you can continue in this way. Then, but not directly focusing on the sila. After the gladness and happiness come into mind, and the mind is concentrated, then moving forward to the meditation subject that can support for the attainment. Then in this way, they reach to the enlightenment level. Then generosity, the similar way. So once you give something, you donate, and the action of charity, there you can relate your mind, and I have done this kind of donation or charity. This is generosity, and this is a kind of quality, and you develop gladness, and up to the concentration. After that, the Devadanusati. Devadanusati, is here Deva. Recollection of Deva is not actually recollecting the Deva, although this is expressed as the Devata only. But here the 5 qualities are mentioned. So faith, saddha, and morality, sila, and learning, sutta, and generosity, jaga, and wisdom, panya. By the power of those qualities, devas were born in this realm of existence with the full of the enjoyment. Then, and these are the quality they had possessed. I don't know, exactly. Sometimes some devas are not keeping this state, continuing in their deva life. Some lack of the saddha after being deva, but we can say the condition or the conducive is feathers to be born as devas are these feathers. So they had possessed these feathers. In the same way, I also have, and recollecting in this way, these are the certain qualities to be born in Deva. So already some beings are born as Deva by this quality. And these saddha and sila, etc., already have in my life. In this way, recollecting one's own, but it need to recollect through the devas and their qualities. In this way, one can develop the Devadanusati. And Upasamanusati. So recollection of the peace. So this is peace, this peaceful attribute to the Nibbana. So for the beginner of the practice, he cannot reach to the real peace or Nibbana, but he can learn what kind of peace is, that contribute to the Nibbana, related to the Nibbana, and he learn. Then focusing that peaceful state of Nibbana as he has learned, not really reaching to. Then, then he continue practicing concentration meditation. Then the last one, Marananusati. So actually this should be, this should reach to the 8, because I just want to show these 8 are not supporting to attain the concentration level of jhana. So just the excess concentration. Only the remaining 2 of the last 2 of Kaya Gata Sati and Anapanasati support for the attainment of jhana. So then the number 8 is Marananusati. So Marananusati, Marana is death. So the last moment of the life. Someone recollecting the last moment of the death, and he recollect, death is sorry. My living is unsorry. In this way, he recollect the death moment. So uncertainty of the life, and the absolute certainty of the death. And in this way, the death moment become the Actually, the dead moment, other than the talking the dead moment, we can say the dead nature. And that nature become the meditation object. Then Kaya Gata Sati, the mindfulness occupying with the body. So here, the text mentioned the 32 parts of the body. So one focusing on the 32 parts of the body, he can recognize his body as the repulsiveness. So in this way, this can be, the a kinds related to the kinds of the repulsiveness, like the asubha. So in the living body. So in previous category group, the asubha, 10 asubha, these are based on the dead body. So focusing on your body, dividing into 32 parts, or focusing each of the parts, and you develop your repulsiveness. And this becomes the Kaya Gata Sati, the mindfulness occupied with the body. Then the last anusati is mindfulness of breathing, focusing on the breathe on your breath and breathe in and breathe out. This is very popular one, the Anapanasati. And here you may see the anusati, it come into the anusati, just need to recall it repeatedly. But the last two, Kaya Gata Sati, only Sati mentioned, not Anusati, not Kaya Gata Anusati, Kaya Gata Sati. And here Anapanasati also, not recollecting, the same items. You just develop, the meditator just develop his mindfulness qualities, not recollecting the same thing in the Anapanasati and Kaya Gata Sati. But in the previous 8 need to repeatedly recall the same item, the same object. And these are 10 anusati. Okay, so let's move to the next category of the Abhidhamma. These are called Abhidhamma. On the other hand, it is called the Brahma Vihara. So Brahma Viharas are divine abodes. Divine abodes. Here it is mentioned that divine abodes, a sublime state, because these are considered as the mental dwellings, not physical way of dwellings. The mental dwellings of the Brahma. That's why they are called divine abodes or sublime states, and also called the Abhidhamma. So this name Abhidhamma, I'm already introduced in the second chapter. So in the second chapter, chapter 2, only Karuna and Mudita, number 2 and 3, are recognized and mentioned as the southern fetters of Citasika, mental fetters, so compassion and appreciated joy only. But the Metta and Upeka are mentioned as the Adosa. So Adosa for Metta, Adosa mental fetter, the non-hatred one. Then Upeka is the equanimity, here translated as equanimity, but actually, according to the mental fetter, this is the the mental fetters are already mentioned in the mental fetters, not equanimity mental fetters. This is called the Tattara Majadata. So Tattara Majadata in the second chapter. So in second chapter, only 2 mental fetters mentioned. So here, complete set of the Abhidhamma as meditation subject is explained. So the nature of non-hatred mental fetter is developing the nature of wishing, others wishing for the welfare and happiness of living beings. So to the complete practice, need to break off the boundaries. So area or the person, and then reach into the all being. So may all being be well and happy in this way. Then this practice is called the loving kindness meditation. And this also reached to the different level of jhana. Then, and this helps to eliminate the evil inside. So this is special text at the beginning. So when the evil is strong and one develop the loving kindness. So second one, the karuna, compassion. The nature of karuna is the quiver, the shaking of the mind is not really shaken by the sorrowful feeling actually, but actually the compassionate nature shake the subject, shake the heart of the person who has goodwill, and focusing on the others being suffering, then one can develop karuna. As already mentioned, that this is different from the being sorry. Being sorry, being sad is a kind of docile mental activities of the hatred or evil. But here, compassion is not the same. Although it is focusing on others' suffering, just wishing to help him to remove his suffering, but not shaken by sorrowful feeling for oneself. And it's opposed to cruelty. Cruelty is there. This also a kind of the hatred is in the a strong level. And for the mudita practice, he need to choose the beings who are successful and endowed with the prosperity and rejoicing. So focusing others rejoicing, and he rejoices, and removing the envy on the other's success. If someone is developing his envy to others' success, he cannot develop the mudita meditation. Then, so by the mudita meditation, he can reduce the envy nature, and then finally eliminate and complete qualities promoted to the level of meditation attainment. Then Upekha meditation. So in this case, this implement impartiality. So without any favorites of preference or the dissatisfaction. So here this opposed to the attachment and aversion nature. That is why the beings will be in different condition and different situation according to their karma. Karma is managing their life, also our life. That is why beings are in different situation of life. Accepting that, understanding that, and one develop the equanimity meditation. And so this the object can be every living beings in different situation, and impartial attitude, keeping balance, not reaching to the favoritism or resentment due to the different situation of the living beings, because this connecting to an understanding, and this is due to their condition, their own condition, and keeping one's own mind in balance to maintain the equanimity situation. Then it can develop to the four up to the level of the illimitable Abhidhamma. Okay, let's move on to another category, which is called the Ahari Partikula Sanya. So this focusing on the food, developing the the perception of loathsomeness. So how we can develop the loathsomeness or repulsiveness of the nutriment. So nutriment, actually, this is ultimate reality, but in the form of the food. So we can see the difficulty of searching for food. For some people, not difficult, but he can develop his the other people have difficulty, or this is due to the food. And also repulsiveness in the using, so chewing and changing the form. This becomes the repulsive form. Then digestive process or excretion. These all are support to perception of repulsiveness on the food. So if we just keep the common attitude to the food, we cannot keep this kind because the food is so much attractive. Okay, so when you are eating, if you like to practice this meditation, and you can use, then after that, later on you can recall this, and then you can develop repulsiveness. But this cannot give rise the jhana concentration, just support for the excess concentration level only. Then here, number 6 is the Bhavutana. This is analyze. So analyze of the 4 elements. Focusing on the body, he analyzed the 4 elements inside the body. There's some solid nature, hardness coming to mind, and this counted as this is the earth element inside the body. So here, this is different from the earth kasina. So on the earth kasina, focusing on the physical earth, keeping in mind the nature of earth, and recollecting or contemplating as earth. This is earth kasina. But if one trying to develop the analyze meditation, analyzing the 4 elements in the body, or later on he can reach to the outside, inside and outside. Here in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Buddha mentioned the Kaya Nupassana as the element meditation. So keeping in mind the nature of earth, not really earth, inside the body, the hardness or softness, etc. And then it is mentioned in detail in Visuddhimagga. So the solid part of the body and developing, this is the earth nature, earth element inside, and the fluids nature and liquid nature, and this is all the water elements, and the heat or cold, these are fire elements, and the movement or the force for the movement, this as the air element, and you can read in the Visuddhimagga enlarged. So this we should need to keep in mind. This analysis of the 4 elements are different from the 4 kasina based on the 4 elements. So and this reach to the real nature, real ultimate nature of the 4 essential elements. We call the Mahabhuta. We already mentioned the 4 great essential in chapter 6. So you need to review what are these great essential of the materialities. Also, this one, reaching to the ultimate reality, taking it as object. And this also cannot support for the attainment of jhana. Okay, so let's reach to the final part of the meditation object. So here the Abhidhamma Sangha has mentioned the agasa, etc. So we already studied this in the chapter 1. Chapter 1. So the 4 kinds of immaterial jhana. This has the specific object. The first one has the infinite space, agasa, ananda agasa, as it is object. So it's become the agasa ananda yatana. And second one focusing on the consciousness. So here you see the second one and the fourth one. The fourth one focus on the thought consciousness. That's why in 2 of second and fourth focusing on the ultimate realities, but still support to attainment of the jhana. in the immaterial state. And the third one, concept. So the number 1 and number 3 focusing on the concept. So space, actually, here this space, infinite space, referring to the concept of the space. So you should not be confused. The materialities, akasa, dhatu. So in the chapter 6, we already mentioned a kind of materialities which divide as 2 material cluster, which can divide 2 material cluster, material group, separating one to another. That is a kind of materialities, so regarded as the ultimate reality. But here, infinite space referring to the concept of the space, not realities. And focusing on that one, reach to the immaterial jhana. This is the first stage. And focusing on the first consciousness, and he reached to the second jhana. Then focusing on the disappearance. After disappearance, nothing is remaining there. So this is keeping this nothingness in mind. This is a kind of concept. Then nothingness, concept of nothingness, and he developed to that thought, immaterial jhana. Then finally, to develop the state of neither perception nor non-perception, nivasanya, nasanya, yarana, you need to focus on the reality, ultimate reality of thought or consciousness of the thought jhana, immaterial jhana. Then in this way, he developed the last stage of the immaterial jhana. Okay, so these are altogether 14 meditation subjects as mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha. So we already discussed many of them already mentioned in the formal class, formal lesson. So I'm going to stop here my explanation and let's continue to the discussion. Thank you very much for your attention.
So this is the first question that we have received. Dear Sayadaw, at jhana, the counterpart sign is still there. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so for this question, we need to know the 22 meditation subject reach to the counterpart sign and come to the stage of counterpart sign, and it remain during the time of jhana, because the jhana also taking the consciousness during the jhana, also taking the same the counterpart sign as it is object. So let's see, Tankasina. Also practicing Tankasina reach to the counterpart sign. So the sign become to the stage of counterpart sign. It remain in the jhana period. And 10 asubha. So 10 kasina, 10 asubha, and anapana. So breathe in and breathe out. And also kayakata sati. These 22 meditation subjects, the counterpart sign will appear and continue till the moment of jhana. So, and the others are like a Buddha Anusati, the counterpart sign does not appear. That's why it's also not reaching to jhana. And the others are like an immaterial state, or development of the loving kindness, etc. They are not reaching to the counterpart sign. Then their meditative mind, the jhana consciousness also not focusing on that counterpart sign. Okay, so you need to keep in mind the 22 meditation subject cause to arising of the counterpart sign, and it will remain up to the jhana time. Okay, thank you.
Okay. The second question, Bhante.
Yes.
Dear Sayadaw, on lesson 51, Buddhi Pakya. For all 7 categories, what are the possible chitas that may have the respective reality or entity? Example, item 3, Iddhipada, Chanda, Virya, Chitta, and Vimamsa or Panya. As per my understanding, for Chanda Iddhipada, the Chanda Chittasika is associated with the Chittas, 8 Maha Kusala Chittas, 8 Maha Kiriya Chittas, 9 Mahagata Kusala Chittas, 9 Mahagata Kiriya Chittas, and 8 Lokutara Chittas. There's total of 42 chittas. Similarly with Virya Iddhipada, the Virya associated with 42 chittas, similar to Chanda Iddhipada. How about Vimamsa Iddhipada? There are 4 Mahakusala and 4 Mahakiriya chittas not associated with knowledge. Excluded. That is 42 minus 8. That will give us 32 chittas. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so thank you for your question. And here and at the beginning, I need to remind you the Bodhipakya Sangaha in the chapter 7, the body, all the wall, representative wall, or the ultimate reality. This referring to the Mandaphadas, and the Mandaphada specifically associated with the Lokutara Chitta, or as mentioned in the Bodhipakya, totally referring to the Mandaphada associated with the Lokutara Chitta. At the end of that chapter, and that's maybe that lesson I explained there, following the text of the Abhidhamma Sangaha. So they are referring to the real Bodhipakya. So the real Bodhipakya refers to the Mandaphada associated with only Lokutara Chitta, so supramundane consciousness. So we can see the 4 Iddhipada, Chanda associated with supramundane consciousness is called the Iddhipada, real Iddhipada, etc. So in this way, we can identify all the Mandaphada there. But in the sutta explanation, some sutta explain the same name, the word Iddhipada, as the mundane level. In the mundane level also, this chanda, the desire, when it comes to the high level, it can be the leaders like this. So in this case, and you can say the chanda associated with the others, other consciousness as well. This chanda, maybe if you remember, the associated consciousness with chanda, including unwholesome, that lobha mula citta. So when the chanda come to the very high level associated with the lobha mula, it become accomplishment, but it's not regarded as the Iddhipada. But in the good side, the positive side, if someone practicing meditation, at the beginning, he's not reaching to the supramundane level, but he keep his desire to develop his meditation process, and this chanda become a high level, and it can cause to accomplish. So in this way, we can take this meaning into the common things as well. So for the Vimamsa reference to the Panya, in this case, the ultimate reality, the wisdom faculty, Mandaphada, is the representative of the Vimamsa. So altogether, we can say the 47 consciousness associated with the Panya. So but the Mahakriya Chitta not associated with knowledge is no Vimamsa, because it is not the Panya Chittasika. Only 47. But exactly in the Bodhibhakya Sangha, Vimansa Itipada, Vimansa Itipada referring to the wisdom faculty manifesto associated with the Supramundane consciousness. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bante. The next question, dear Sayadaw, for Samatha Bhavana, since it requires the mind to focus on single object, is it proper to say that the suitable position or posture, is only sitting posture and not the fourth postures like Vipassana Bhavana?
It's not necessary. Yeah, thank you, Cynthia, and thank you for your question as well. And here, it's not necessary to be in sitting posture all the time. As the bhavana, the word bhavana can be translated as mental development. So mental development, so mental activity is the important parts. So, at the beginner level, it is easy to keep on one subject, keep in mind on one subject in sitting posture. But later on, after coming into the mind and reaching to the level, starting level, he can develop, he can develop to perform the practicing meditation, the samatha meditation, because this just keeping on the mind, standing position also not limitation. If he can stand in proper way, and sometimes or laying down, no problem. Maybe sometimes walking, if that's why the meditation in walking posture suggests to make the starting period, we call the jankama, the starting walkway or the meditation. Is you will not be busy on that, and because this is already prepared suitable for meditation, then you can continue the up to the development. But mostly recommended for sitting posture is is necessary for the beginner. But for the element meditation, it is not necessary to keep in sitting position, because one can focus standing or lying down, and all the four elements inside. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bante. Next question. Dear Sayadaw, for mindfulness, occupied with the body meditation, how does one attain concentration by focusing on the repulsiveness of body parts? Similarly, for meditation on the 10 kind of fullness of corpse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, similar, but the difference is for the fullness meditation, the nature of the contemplation is not only focusing on the fullness, the fullness meditation, and my body also have this kind, and we can say the similar, but at the beginning stage it will be different. Then for the kaya gata sati, occupying with the body meditation, the mindfulness focusing on one's own body parts, not necessarily to focus on the repulsiveness, and just focus on one's own body parts. For example, for the body hair and head hair, like this, just focusing on that, and then keep in mind, and so that the mind is concentrated there. And so in the repulsiveness of the body, at the beginning, need to include the repulsive nature of the body. It's called the asubha bhavana. But the concentration level is different for the focusing. This 32 part is belonging to the one's own, so that person. And for the fullness meditation, the corpse are outside, so the focus are different, but the nature of concentrated mind is similar. very similar. Next, make aspiration and share merit to all beings. Please repeat after me. Imina punya kamina.
Imina punya kamina.
Mami bala samagamo.
Mame bala samagamo.
Satam samagamo hodu.
Satang samagamo hotu.
Yawa nibbana patiya.
Yawa nibbana patiya.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyang.
Asawakaya wahang hodu.
Asawa kayang wahang hotu.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyang.
Nibbana sabajayo hodu.
Nibbana sapacayo hotu.
Mama punya bagam.
Mama punya bagan.
Sabha satanam bhajemi.
Sabasatanang pajemi.
Te sabe.
Te sabe.
Te samam.
Me samang.
Punya bagam labantu.
Punya bagan labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.